This is the last battle. This is the last battle. This is the last battle. Well, that isn't ominous as fuck. Like, Death Flag Central right there, saying it is the last battle, and we have, like, 5 episodes left, I'm assuming? Yeah, I think 5 or 6 episodes, so, saying it is the last battle, and only, you know, about 5 episodes remaining, that's kind of ominous. I feel like our characters are going to die. Like, a lot of characters are probably going to die. I mean, at the end of the episode, Mr. Choco, he's like, there will be a few casualties. Few, okay. And last battle, with that just being thrown around all over the place in the middle of this episode, I'm like, yeah, a character's gonna die. There's gonna be a major character death next week. It's gonna happen. Oh, yes. I sense maybe 1 or 2 major character deaths next week. Maybe a lot more than that, because it's supposedly the last battle. So, we'll see where that goes. Now, besides that, I do think that this scene, or this episode, really shows how fucked Gallahorn is, because they are really, really ignorant. To not be able to know that the whole reason how Mr. Choco was able to activate the, you know, Gundam frame in the first place, the symbol of Gallahorn, was thanks to the AV system, that just blows my mind. I mean, yes, they banned body modification. They thought it was an evil thing. You shouldn't use that. You shouldn't modify your body. But for them to forget how Gundam frames were used in the first place, and to forget how the machine was activated in the first place, it just blows my fucking mind. Like, this would mean that any random person with the AV system would have been able to get in there if they somehow managed to get in there, and if they were able to activate it, they would have been able to lead Gallahorn. Let's just use a big example here. Let's assume that Orga or Mika, somehow they managed to make it there, okay? Where, you know, Mr. Choco was in last week's episode, and how he activated, you know, Bell. Imagine if Orga or Mika was able to get there and activate it before him, and they were able to step inside, activate it, link themselves up with the AV system. Just imagine, they would have been able to lead Gallahorn. That is extremely fucked, because this shows you the level of incompetency for Gallahorn. They were so incompetent that they did not even realize that their symbol ran off the AV system. And I'm just like, holy shit, how stupid are you? Like, you have to be completely stupid to be able not to know that the whole thing you think is like the symbol of Gallahorn running off the AV system, or, you know, and not knowing it does. I'm like, how do you not know this shit? Just, yeah. Anyways, though, let's talk about the main point of this episode. So this episode sets up for the final battle. A lot of final battle was mentioned, like that was mentioned quite a few times throughout this episode. It was set up for that. We got it to where a lot of characters are prepping for battle, everyone's ready, they're gearing up, putting their weapons together, everybody's saying like their lines and all that, saying, you know, maybe Orga, you know, it seems like this is kind of crazy and all that, all this pressure we're putting on him, like it's kind of sad, and it really makes you realize what's been going on here, because if you remember in Season 1 of Mobile Suit, you know, Gundam, we'll remember that Biscuit was always the person to stop Orga from crossing that line, going completely crazy. That was the point of Biscuit in Season 1 of Gundam, and when he died, it was like the voice of reasoning died alongside of him. Like, no one was left there to question Orga and what he was doing throughout his journey to reach that destination. And with Biscuit gone, that's not there anymore, and it feels like we need a Biscuit right now. Like, we need Biscuit to be here, but sadly he's not here because he's long dead. Because right now what Orga is doing, or what he's trying to do, he's been forced to make this decision because he has all the pressure put on him. Everybody else is expecting Orga to turn out the results while they just follow orders and listen to what he has to do. And just, when I see something like this, I'm like, holy shit, what Biscuit was saying in Season 1 makes so much more sense now because of what I'm witnessing from Orga in this episode and what's going on with this fight, and how so many lives are being put on the line to achieve this objective, you know, to be the king of Mars. I'm like, oh damn, this does make sense now, what Biscuit was trying to say. It's really understandable now when you think back of what he was thinking, what he was trying to convey to Orga, and now seeing what we're seeing here in this episode. In all honesty, I think I need to talk about one thing, actually, and that would be Kudelia. Has anyone else noticed that Kudelia as a character has been relatively pointless in this season of Iron Blood Orphan? Now, don't get me wrong, I still love Kudelia as a character. She's a really good character, she's had some really good development and characterization from Season 1, and she's had some interactions here and there throughout Season 2. But overall, though, when it comes to the grand scheme of things, it seems more like Kudelia is a cheerleader than anything else in Season 2 of Iron Blood Orphans, and I'm kind of sad about that, because Kudelia is such a good character, and just watching this episode and seeing her interaction, it really just dawned on me how she really doesn't play a huge role in Season 2, or she has yet to play a huge role at all, and it kind of makes me sad, because there's a lot with her character, a lot of potential with her character, and just to see how she is, not being used now, it makes me sad. It really does. I mean, I know her purpose is to make sure that there's no other children like, Mika and Orga and all of them, like nobody lives like they do. I understand that's her goal and her purpose of the series, and most likely her goal will pop up and her role in the series will pop up once everything is said and done in Gundam Iron Blood Orphan. That's when she will play a part, because she'll make sure nothing like this ever happens again. However, I'm kind of sad because she hasn't played a huge part in the current events of Gundam, and it seems like overall there's a lot of wasted potential when it comes to her character, which makes me sad. Talking about Atra, let's talk about her for a second. So, there is a big death flag in this episode, which, if there's anything I've learned from this series of Gundam, since this is my first Gundam series, I have learned that romance doesn't tend to work out at all. When there's a relationship with love and stuff going on, Gundam loves just pulling out that knife and slitting the throat of that ship. That's exactly what they do. And because of this episode, seeing Atra and Mika have a moment, and how he's going to this fight because of her, but on top of that, you have it to where Atra reveals that she loves him. He's like, I love you and all that, and then, Mika, hugs her and just, makes sure she doesn't cry anymore. I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Like, this is not good, because that's just letting me know that these two are probably going to die, or one of them are going to die. Hopefully, Mika gives her that baby before, he goes off and dies, because, I mean, I would like to at least see some legacy of Mika carry on. I mean, he did say he'd make a baby with Atra, so we'll see. So we'll see if he follows through with what he said. We'll see if he makes a baby with Atra or not. We'll see in next week's episode. Now, one last thing I do want to talk about. Let's talk about the Choco Man and what's going on with him. So, Gallahorn are neutral right now. Even though they're supposed to follow the order of, now taking upon himself to, be in the Gundam frame Bell, he's supposed to have absolute power. However, a lot of the, officials, the politicians of, Gallahorn do not want to help out Choco at all. They don't want to make sure he's, gonna secede at all. They're just staying neutral. They're not gonna help or not gonna be against him. They're just being completely neutral in this upcoming fight. So all of the pressure has been put on Tekadon standing up against the fleet, which is trying to stop Mr. Chocolate from initiating his overall plans of Gallahorn. So not very good for Tekadon at all, which is why I said there's a lot of death flags in this episode, because for them not getting any backup or anything, it makes me assume that it's not going to be good at all. I could see a lot of them dying, or maybe being the first time that maybe Orga wants to betray someone that they made, a contract with or helping out. I could see Orga making the decision this is the first time he's going to betray someone because he doesn't want his family to die. I could see something like that happening. Oh yes, easily seeing something like that happen if shit goes completely south because of what this episode was trying to set up. So yeah, I mean, overall, the episode had some interesting things going on here and there to, the little lolly, the Mr. Chocolate's lolly trying to, be upset and she almost killed herself. I'm like, holy shit, and how he actually stopped her, which shows that he does care about her somewhat. For him to actually stop her from killing herself, it shows that he does care. It may be a tiny bit, but he does definitely care. So that's about it when it comes to this episode of Gundam. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.